they say, right?
Some get a little, and some get none. Some catch a bad one, and some leave the job half done. I was one who never had and always mad. Never knew my dad. Well, anyway, I did pick up, flipped and clipped up, simile stick-ups. Cause waiters had to trigger hiccups. I couldn't get a job, nappy hair was not allowed. My mother couldn't afford us all, she had to throw me out. I walked the strip, with just a clip, who wanna hit? They got 'em quick, I had to eat this money's good as spit. I threw in braids, I wasn't paid enough. I kept them on cause I couldn't afford a haircut. I got laughed at, I got chumped, I got dissed. I got upset, I got a check in a banana clip. Was down the throat, led to any dealing
But we're already royal, yeah. See it runs in our blood. We just been having tough luck. We need a different kind of buzz. I'll be your ruler. Call me Nefertiti, and baby I'll roll. Come see my reality. Oh, 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 oh. We're greater than they say we are. So baby, go ahead and call me star. Oh, 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 oh. Wake up if you dare. Let's get free from this love affair.
Thank you. It's Thursday night, 10 p.m. You're listening to Art Spoken, coming from the United States Capital, Washington, D.C. We broadcast worldwide, but we just want to let everybody know where we are. Like I said, this is Art Spoken. My name is Laylan McGann. I'm the host. To my right is my main man.
Better known as Unknown.
Better known as Unknown.
Sir.
Better known as Unknown. But nonetheless, Unknown and Laylan, we're at WLVS, ListenVisionLive.com. If you're tuning in, thank you very much. We have a great show for you this evening. You just heard the beautiful voice of Maimuna Youssef, and she is going to be our guest this evening. But before we get into the show and everything like that, I just want to give everybody who's tuning in for the first time an opportunity to understand what exactly we're doing here. Our focus is pretty much like the title says. We're Art Spoken. We bring artists on of all forms and functions to basically not just talk about their projects, but also introduce who they are as personalities. Because I feel like, or we feel like, and the producers of the show feel like that, you know, a lot of artistry goes unnoticed because people don't know who the artists are behind the works that they create. Now, with that being said, I'd like to introduce my guest, Maimuna. Maimuna, yes.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
I mean, even your talking voice is as beautiful as your singing voice.
Thank you.
Can you just tell us a bit about yourself?
I am, I guess in a nutshell, I'm a singer, songwriter, MC, activist. I have been making music. Well, I've been making music for a long time. I started my first band maybe 10 years ago.
Okay.
And it was a group, a hip-hop duo group named Series B. A few years later, I ended up traveling with The Roots. People probably know me, you know, best for some of the songs with The Roots. Particular a song called "Don't Feel Right" from the Game Theory album. And later on, I began touring with Zap Mama and with Common, and I've gotten to travel around the world and sing with most of my heroes. You know, it's really cool.
Well, you've become a hero, so you know.
So, thank you.
Shiro.
No, sincerely though, Beyond Royals though, because a lot of people recognize that song by from Gord, of course. Tell us a bit about your own personal music.
Well, I think my music has always been a mixture of my experiences. So growing up, I was exposed to a lot of African music, a lot of jazz in particular. My mother's a jazz singer.
I heard she's pretty hot too.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. She's actually performing tonight. I don't know. Also, I started MCing when I was maybe 12 years old. I had an older brother. He's going to be on this upcoming mixtape. He's so hilarious. But I think he wanted a boy sibling, and unfortunately he got me. And he had this rule, like no girls can sit on the front step unless you can rap.
Wow.
So like, you know, we could never go on the front step until I learned how to rap, you know? And it wasn't just like, you know, regular just rhyming. It was like vicious battling. Like he would just demolish your whole being, your face, your teeth, your clothes. And it was like, hey, stop. I'm 10.
It's like that hawk.
Don't do that. Yeah. And but he introduced me to the Wu-Tang Clan. And But even prior to that, my parents were really big KRS-One fans, and I just hosted this show with him at Howard Theater. Both my parents came out. It was hilarious. They loved it. My mom was hype all night long, and KRS-One and Public Enemy. So anyway, a lot of those things ended up having very strong influences in my music. Definitely the activism, hip hop, always being a very strong influence for me. Jazz in terms of the stylizing of my vocals, and a lot of my music has a very international flair because I was exposed to so much. I mean, in my house you can hear Brazilian music, Cuban music, Afrobeat. My family were really big Fela Kuti fans, Bob Marley fans. So like my first solo project, The Blooming, you'll hear so many of those influences. And a lot of times people, they don't understand the commonality between those styles of music. And for me, it's very natural because that's my experience. I'm really just telling my story. This is all the sounds that created the soundtrack that would become Maimouna Youssef. And in particular, I generally like to take people through a journey of what Black American music is. Even without even leaving the United States, a lot of people don't understand the connectedness between just Black American music, between the blues, between rock, between funk, hip hop. Like people think that they're really, really far stretched and really different, but you can't have one without the other, And I from a very young age, I understood the connectiveness between all these different genres. And if you ask any DJ, who has studied these forms, they'll be able to tell you, well, this record started because of this, especially early hip hop records. I mean, it's all funk, and that definitely had its origins in a lot of your blues and your jazz, which, earlier had like ragtime and slave hollers, which before that became from African music, So because that makes sense to me, it's a whole story. And it makes a whole people when you understand the whole story. When you have fragmented pieces of a people's history, that's the type of experience and outcome you have in your youth.
Yes.
And when you realize that it's just for marketing purposes,
then it gets very perverted in that regard. Yeah. I'm very intrigued by the whole notion or the word activism. Mm-hmm. Tell us a bit more about what you're active about.
A lot of different things. I mean, mainly the things I feel passionate about. Again, I come from parents who are Pan-Africanists, and also like my mother's Choctaw and Creek, very much involved in a lot of issues revolving around Native American rights, the American Indian movement, things like that. So I've always kind of grown up with a certain understanding that it was my responsibility to make the world better than I found it. Most recently, you can probably, in terms of my own music, I've always tackled a lot of different issues. One of the issues that I think has gotten a lot of attention is genetically modified foods, a song that I made about genetically modified organisms.
GMOs.
Yeah, GMOs. And it's just something that I became really frustrated about once I learned about it, because I realized like it's just not good enough that you eat your vegetables.
That's where they come from.
Yeah, now you have to worry about that. And so I definitely felt like it was something that Black people or in urban environments were not aware of at all. And it's something that I wanted to make accessible, that information. I wanted to put it in a way that urban communities would know how to receive it. So like the very first place that I performed, it was in a nightclub, and they all kind of just stared at me weird. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Okay, this is an awkward response. But the next day, people were tweeting me saying, look, I went on YouTube and I studied, I went to research what this whole GMO thing is about. And wow, if I had known that, I wouldn't have done this or that. So I think music has such a unique opportunity in a way that other forms of information media doesn't have that same opportunity, because it's so pervasive, it's repetitive, it has a way of drawing you in, and I feel like that's the best way to disseminate information.
So did you find yourself becoming a musician to, for less of a better term, preach the word, or do you think you're a musician at heart?
No, I'm definitely a musician at heart.
But But you found a cause in this walk.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a person that cares, you
Yes.
know? I'm just a caring person. Like, I don't know how to see a situation wrong and not, like, try to make it better. I'm not a person that knows how to, like, turn away, and often to my detriment. But yeah, it's probably half and half. I mean, there's definitely been opportunities that were solely based on career or music that I've turned down because they have not met up with certain moral values that I hold, you know, close to me.
I mean, I even asked another question because one of the things I was, you know, at 13 you were talking, and I read a lot about you so far that there were a lot of opportunities that came at that point so far as, you know what I'm saying, a lot of labels, etc.
Right.
And one of the things that I heard you said is that you didn't really feel that, which I was really interested. What was it about
You're
that?
saying when I was a child?
I read like about at the age of 13 there were a lot of different labels that came
Right.
at you, and there was a certain point where you felt like, I'm not.
That young, it wasn't really my choice. It was more of my mother's choice. And because my mother had been in the music business already, she traveled and toured with the Rat Pack and Sammy Davis Jr. and Lionel Hampton, Hugh Hefner.
Can we shout her name out?
Yeah, her name is Natasha Hassan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think she had seen so much of the business, the good, the bad, and the ugly, where she felt like I was too young to be exposed to it.
Right.
So that was more of her decision at that time. At that time, I didn't really understand it, why I couldn't be a part of the music business that early. I had already written my Grammy acceptance speech. And I did not, no, I'm so serious. I was like, and I want to thank, Coco and Buttons because they've been helping me down.
Like at my goldfish.
That's filthy. That's filthy.
That is so awesome. So like you've always been aware of your talent.
Yeah, well, I don't think they would allow me not to. So my mother's a singer, my grandmother's a singer, my uncles are singers. My other uncle's a rock and roll, heavy metal, bass guitarist.
Bass guitar is sick.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so I was the only one out of my siblings who had to rehearse with my mother and my grandmother when I was a kid, like from the age of like 5. Like everyone would be outside playing, and I have to like be inside, like singing hymns and Negro spirituals, and also traditional native songs from my tribe. And I didn't understand why I had to be the only one
So
that
what's
had
your
to do
tribe?
this.
I mean,
My mother's Choctaw, Creek, and Cherokee.
okay.
Yeah, her side. And yeah, so I think from that early on, I was almost trained to do it. And it's funny because my mom would say now, well, I didn't want you necessarily to get into the music business. And I was like, well, yeah, but I was kind of trained for this, you know, in a certain regard. So I kind of always knew that this was what I wanted to do. And then when I started like buying my own music, like I remember, it's so funny because I ended up, you know, working with Common. I finally told him the story that like I probably was maybe like 12 or 13, and we had moved to a really rural area in North Carolina, and there was no record store where we lived. I had to drive like an hour to get to a record store. But I like saved up my money, and I was like, I have to get this tape Resurrection. It was probably a few years old by then, but at whatever point I realized what it was, I got Resurrection and One Day to All Make Sense, I think. And I just was like so excited. Same thing like when the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill came out, like we waited outside the store all night long. That's the song I wrote, what's the name of the song? You Ain't Hard.
Yes.
It talks about that in the first verse. It said we waited outside the store today, the record drop, digested like a fresh cop, a weaker at shot. Nowadays I be amazed at folks who make these songs about just when you think you heard it all, then your jaw drop. And if it's shock value, I'm shocked. No, please stop. But
I think it's crazy to just go like into rhyme as part of conversation. It's like, hi, my name is.
yo, my sister
By the
hates
way.
it. My sister hates it. She's like, if you rap again, I'm hanging up on you.
You're so. No, that's ridiculous though.
Yeah,
No.
I have another friend who tells me I have musical Tourette's.
Musical Tourette's, TM.
Right.
Yes.
But the verse is totally about her. We waited outside the store all night long, and then it was such a long line that when we got in there, all the tapes were sold, and so we
Yes.
didn't have a CD player back
Yes.
then. So like we had to buy the CD anyway because it was the only thing left. And so for a week until we begged my aunt to buy a CD player, we just read the lyrics like, "What you think this sounds like?" and just like sang all the possible melodies it could have been.
And for our younger listeners, yes, we're dating ourselves. There was a thing called tapes and CDs.
Right.
Yes, you know.
Everything wasn't on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you just couldn't like just push forward. But nonetheless, so how many albums have you created thus far or produced?
I have done my first record was called Subversive Activity in 2004.
Is it on tape?
It's not on tape. I don't think they made tapes anymore.
No, exactly.
Yeah, no.
You might find the CD somewhere.
You know, I would love to get to put that one on vinyl just because.
Yes,
Same thing
yes,
with Bloom.
yes.
I think I'm gonna put it on
Vinyl's sick. Vinyl's sick. I mean, vinyl
and it's
really
coming back.
captures.
It's coming back out. It's like retrending again.
And actually, vinyl is more expensive than any other medium now.
Yeah.
You know, so
it was that record, and then my mother and I did an album together, and then the Blooming, and now this new record that's going to be released on the 13th of May.
okay.
Nice.
So just to give us a bit about your career path, though, because I mean, I did a bit of research before the show, and I mean, even with the Blooming, like you've had great representation. You know, your artistry, your photography, your
Thank
you know, your scenery. You're
Go
flying
team,
all over
go
the world.
team, Mumu Fresh, go.
No, exactly. Well, we're gonna introduce Mumu Fresh as well.
Okay.
But like, how did you fall into that? You know, like how is it all of a sudden that you're looking decadent in a beautiful place? You know, and it's not by accident, of course.
Okay.
And your manager's smiling.
No,
He laughs.
you said, how is it?
He's like, wait, can I get the mic?
You're saying how did we work out the
Well,
travel
like I mean,
arrangements and
just a transition. You know, I mean, how do you? I mean, because part of our show is like we recognize artists in all in all parts of the journey.
Okay.
You know, there are people who are out here who can sing well in the shower.
Okay.
Who would love to be where you are.
Okay.
But they don't necessarily understand the path that you took.
I understand. Wow. It's been a long journey. It's far from being where we envision it. We always have meetings. We meet all the time. I'll say
But are you driving it, or is someone driving it for you?
No, it's definitely a partnership between myself and Diallo Sambri.
Okay.
You know what's funny? So I'm gonna
Diallo, please say hi.
I'm gonna tell a story.
Just get into the guy. You're on the camera now. Yes, this is Diallo. Wait.
So you know what's interesting when I first moved back to DC, and this is like after the Roots toured. I toured around the world with the Roots, and after my first deal with Sony, and it didn't work out, and the group broke up, and I guess I was trying to put the pieces back together and figure out how I could be a solo artist and find out what my voice was.
But back up, like,
before
how were you touring with the Roots?
Okay. So
like you went from
That was a
13,
quick, yeah.
you
Okay.
went from 13 to your brother telling you to get off the porch to like.
So go back. So the first group that we started, Series B, right? It's my cousin and I. We started this group out of band musicians that went to our high schools.
Okay.
And at the time, I wanted to be an anthropologist, but because my parents are awkward revolutionaries, they wouldn't fill out the financial aid forms for me.
Said awkward.
They are. And so they were like, I was like, Mom, well, I want to go to college and I want to be an anthropologist. And she's like, no, just start a band. And I was like, well, I don't want to start a band. I want to go to college. And I had gone to film school. I'd done a program in film school at the New York Film Academy.
Yes.
And I was saying, you know, I wanted to study anthropology and then I'll go back into filmmaking and whatever. I had this big dream. And she was like, no, you need to just start a band. And then, you know, you can proceed. You'll go back to school after that. And I was just like, you all don't love me. And so I started a band.
Just slip that in real quick.
So I started a band, and it was with, you know, my cousin in our high school.
What was the name of the band?
It was called Series B, and it was named
Okay.
after a star in the Dogon constellation,
Sirius
the Dogon
B.
from Mali, West Africa, and so I know, right? Extra deep. See, we were homeschooled. I know, it's just all homeschool kids were like way extra too deep, and so I had a friend at that time. Well, actually, she was one of my teachers from high school. And she wanted me to go meet a friend of hers in New York. So I went to New York to meet her. We had recorded one song. Actually, one of the guys from Urban Ave, Omar, from Urban Ave 31. He had recorded this song for us, and so I went to meet her, and I'm playing her this song, and I'm saying, I have a band, it's really good. We don't have any material, no bio, no anything. And so she's kind of just telling me, these are the things that you need to do. You need to get a bio. You need to record some music. No one's going to listen to you if you don't already have something established for yourself. Record some music. I said, okay. I was working for a nonprofit organization at that time. So this is like fresh out of high school. I just took the money that I was making from there and just started paying for my band to record in the studio.
Okay.
So this is like, we don't have, like, if I could have, like, the now me could have gone back, I would have been so disgusted at the way we were recording. It just was so raw, and just, we had no knowledge of just what the proper way.
But that's kind of the pleasure and passion of growing.
Yeah.
Like the
Like
learning
everyone in
experience.
the studio at the
Yeah,
same
like,
time, all types of background noise, like cars honking. It just was so messy. And it was
know
like,
about that.
I'm like, look, guys, we have $100. Don't mess up. You get one take.
One take, yes.
Everybody,
I know what that's
one take.
Like, what is this plane flying over us?
Right? Hey, guys, we're going to use it.
That one take.
And,
I love it.
Yeah, so anyway, so I did the things that she asked me. I started, and I was kind of like the administrative brain, because everyone else in the band was just like super creative. A lot of creative people are not able to also be administrative as well. Yeah. And for whatever reason, by the grace of God, I do have the ability to do both. Not usually at the same time, but I can generally do both. So I'm like,
So you're like Prince.
He's like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's like, you know what? We're not doing a record this year. I'm done with y'all.
Yeah. So I guess long story short, we recorded this product, and she said, I know a producer that you should work with. He would have really helped to take you guys to the next level. She found out where he was going to be, met him, and like forced him to have a meeting with us. His name was James Poyser.
Okay.
And so he had a meeting with us at Electric Lady, and he loved what we were doing. It was super raw, but you could really, like, we were super passionate. All the musicians were really talented. It just needed to be refined a little bit more. And so they signed us, and we began working with them. So the studio that he had at that time, everyone's separate now, but the Roots used to have a room there. They had a room. Another guy named Larry Gold, and all types of artists would always be in there, from Missy to Music Soul Child was always in there. Like,
yes,
he actually,
yes.
I have a song where he actually sang
Can I
background.
have your Rolodex?
He sang on this song for me. I wish we had, it's actually on SoundCloud, but it's called a song called Fallen. And we were just like sitting in the studio. I was like, what do you think about this idea? Do you think it's whack? Da, da, da. It's like, well, it would be dope. It just needs some backgrounds. And he just like would come in and just like sing the backgrounds. Just like, this is just too freaky. Why are you singing my backgrounds? I can't even take it. So anyway, so the Roots were there. So everyone would like do music for each other, like sing little parts or rap on, just help each other create music. And so I recorded 2 songs that ended up being, one was on some kind of soundtrack or something on iTunes, and the second one ended up being on the Game Theory album.
Yes.
It was really kind of by chance, like things just kind of fell into place. I'll say chance, but also just hard work and dedication, just showing up every day, not really knowing what you're going to get out of it, but having a positive attitude and just following directions, because that was also a different process of learning how to record.
Well, let me ask you this, because we're talking about blessings and opportunity. Tell me about the down days. Mm-hmm. Like, were there days where you're just like, what, this is not going to work?
Yeah, especially all my long days working at Urban Outfitters.
Oh, you know what?
Hated
On
those
the real,
days.
I worked there.
Really?
M Street, Georgetown. Yes.
Oh.
Don't shop there. Everything's cheap.
Did they like pat you down as you came in and out? It was horrible.
Yes.
It was so ridiculous.
We call ourselves Urban Outfitter slaves, but nonetheless.
It was really so those
that
were
is
hard
crazy.
days. Well, one of the days, honestly, I had a really hard day there, and I really wanted to quit. And that was actually the day I recorded "It Don't Feel Right" for the Roots album.
Right,
so
yeah.
it was Dice Raw's song at first, and so he was like, "Moo, can you record this?" I was like, "Man, I'm not doing any more music. Life is not working out. Maybe this is not meant to be." I told my mother I should have been an anthropologist, and so he was just like, "Well, just sing this little riff." So he was just singing it to me. And I was like, all right. So I just, went in the studio and just laid it down. But I really didn't think anything of it. It wasn't like a year. It was like a year later when they told me that this song became something. and I was Grammy nominated, and I was like, what? That's my Urban Outfitters. I hate Urban Outfitters song.
Like, do you go in there?
No, I don't.
Yes.
I don't. It like brings back bad memories.
Exactly. I mean, yes, they have cheap Converse, but I don't go in there. No.
Oh boy. No, but it's, I mean, honestly, I've had more days than not where they've been hard days, and I think it's because when you're like a really passionate artist, you're like super emotional, and anything can like steer you this way or that way. Honestly, there are a lot of times where I can't talk to people because you may say the wrong thing that's going to tip me over. It's like if I know I'm having one of those sensitive moments, I need to just write and record. I don't need to talk to you and hear all y'all various opinions, like you know. So there have definitely been more days than that, but I've learned kind of to like try to channel that energy into something creative that you know, can help somebody else feeling that way who doesn't have an outlet like that, you know, or doesn't know how to utilize their outlet yet. So yeah.
So I think we're gonna take a quick break, regroup, and come back because we have a lot of great shows, and we're definitely going to come back. You're listening to WLVS, listenvisionlive.com, Art Spoken. We have Maimuna in the house, Leyland, Demetrius.
Unknown, man. Unknown.
Unknown.
If you say my name, then I know.
And we'll definitely be right back.
Runs deep like a terror in the south. Blood runs deep like that money in your couch. Comes cheap when you hide their whereabouts and you tell the press that there were no babies left in that house. I'm talking move, Philly, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. Fred had the damn it, I'm gonna give you this injection even if you don't wanna. To show you why this blood connects us all over like Baghdad, Joburg, Gaza, Arizona. Oppressed people all over the world get stoned.
What are you putting in my malt liquor, white boy? What is this about? You ain't checked to see what's in it. How much land are you putting in my neighborhood?
My songs are deliberately to provoke this feeling of
I am what I am, pellet hoes and Sprite cans, onion pickles and penny candies, what's the jam? In 95, mommy baked the ice cream man, yelling lactose is bad for the African, Native American from the Choctaw clan, Alabama Creek, Mississippi, goddamn man, I am the product of a gypsy and a kingpin, I exist somewhere between Egypt and Sing Sing, born to be a revolutionary since a wee thing, vowed to rock the mic forever if I got an inkling, labels pounding down my mama's door when I was 13, she would never sell me short cause purpose I was serving, raised in Hong City, Baltimore streets burning, where every other building is boarded and things are yearning, gotta have a plan if you don't wanna get eaten up, my plan was a band, now the industry we heating up, but they don't understand these go hard young bucks, a cross between Public Enemy and the loneliest monk, I can serve you up like a fever, whatever you want, hip hop, blues, jazz, rock, roll, soul, funk.
I choose to reflect the times and the situations in which I find myself. That to me is my duty. And at this crucial time in our lives, when everything is so desperate, when every day is a matter of survival, I don't think you can help but be involved. An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. How can you be an artist and not reflect the time? That to me is the definition of an artist.
Lord knows I would love to take the path of least resistance, but my spirit guides been telling me they need assistance. I came into this realm to do things a little different. If you love it or you hate it, I'ma stay persistent. I am what I am, effortlessly relevant. Everything that's ever been, I am but a grain of sand. In the Creator's hand, dying just to live again, be again, melt into the omnipotent. I am.
Montreux, 2005, 7 of the 7. We're standing on the side of the stage. The roots were playing. And after we saw this shapy, beautiful Amazon standing there. Who is this gorgeous lady? And when she opened her mouth, sound of voice, I knew straight away that she was part of my tribe. Zap Mama, Maimuna, the Amazon, Maimuna, Maimuna.
Butterflies don't decide that they don't wanna fly no more. And lions never say that they don't wanna roar. So why do we deny our own light inside? Maybe we were made from stardust, so shine.
Can only live my purpose, or at least for it I'm searching. Ever since I was plucked from the stars into the earth's surface, robbed of my memory, led to believe that I was worthless. Searching for God outside when all the while I had a surplus. Given free will, no knowledge of destiny. Plus my past has been stolen, it seems they got the best of me. Damn, but I got one lifeline left, and the rest inside my chest, yes. And the secret weapon is this moment, I own it, yes I'm blessed.
You know that butterflies don't decide that they don't wanna fly no more. And lions never say that they don't want to roar. So why do we deny our own birthright? Your royalty, baby, shine. You know that whales never say they don't want to rule the sea. You never see a honeybee neglect to make honey. Why do we deny the light inside? Baby, you were made from stardust, so shine.
Dragonflies, honey wine, and dandelions would have included summertime, but winter's like July sometimes. Those are the days you call that chinky-eyed, brown-skinned guy to come sit by the riverside in the park and share your high. I remember when dudes used to be so hard. Nowadays, dudes are just so soft. When we gon' find some balance? When we gon' meet this challenge? What I ask of you, I ask of me. Quit being happy average.
You know that butterflies don't decide that they don't wanna fly no more. Lions never say that they don't want to roar. So why do we deny our own light inside? Your royalty, baby, won't you shine? You know that killer whales never fail to rule the open sea. Never see a honeybee neglect to make honey. Why do we deny
I can get beside myself. Hey, yo, you don't even want me to get beside myself.
Come on, yeah, I can get beside myself. You don't really want me to get beside myself, so no.
Hey, yo, I can get beside myself. Hey, yo, you don't even want me to get beside myself, so no.
I could get beside myself. You don't really want me to get beside myself. So I'm a freedom fighter spitting hot lava through the speaker. Is that speed up in this bitch? You know the feature. Homeboy, you did it again, this next level. That boy sick with a pen, the best rebel. This Farrakhan's place, more bass, turn up my treble. Hot shit I spit was aimed to burn the devil. Got the mind of Gaddafi, divine like Selassie. Rhyme like you cocky, but when to find your posse, you know where I be at. Catch me in the hood. Got you looking sketchy, can't impress me if you could. Then I would know by now, especially if you good. Waiting for your move, looking ready, twisting woods. The Denzel will rap, and that's for sure. A real knuckle that's mature, nigga, that's the cure. Most rappers play the script, they acting raw. But fuck that, I don't wanna spit the facts no more. I stick to the theme, while you better stick to your team. I got an as-is flow, I don't stick to the scene. Plus the flow stay hard like the stick in my jeans. You a bitch cause you lost, cause you stick to the screen. I'm getting beside myself. Get you shook to the point you wanna rob yourself. Be off the hook, call your squad for help. Leave you scarred and wealth, this SB. Better guard yourself, my nigga.
I can get beside myself. Hey, yo, you don't even want me to get beside myself, so no.
Yeah, I can get beside myself. You don't really want me to get beside myself.
Yes, and we're back. Thank you for staying in tune. Just had our break. You were listening to Maimuna.
Very talented sister.
Very, very talented. Very talented. I love all her music. You know, one thing I always say with being a host on the show is that like I'm privileged to hear so many beautiful voices in my ear.
Yeah, we're our listeners.
And that kind of rhymed, but you know.
Nah, yeah, man. Get a new job.
New job. Okay. Like my mic sounds nice.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so we're back. Art Vision, Arts Spoken, www.listenvisionlive.com. Most definitely. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your sister, tell your brother. Tell the person, tell your ex, for real. You know, we're doing it right, we're doing it raw, and we're doing it real. And in that same respect, once again, it's Maimuna.
Like that.
Yes. We're definitely going to use that in our promotions. Blah.
Yeah.
Buck. Anyway.
One step further. Blah, bitches.
And you can say that because there's no FCC here. Indeed. So what did we just hear?
So you heard the first song was entitled "The Blooming" off of the album "The Blooming."
Okay. That was the MC.
Yeah.
You spit right.
Thank you.
That's why I like that Brazil joint because you went from.
I like the Brazil joint as well.
Thank
Showed the
you.
whole realm of everything that you do. That's what's up.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
As my son say, that's filthy.
Oh, that's filthy. That's filthy. It's filthy. Put a little accent on it. Filthy.
Filthy.
And then the second song was called Stardust. And it's a song from the upcoming mixtape, which is going to be released on May 13th. Okay. And we're actually having a release party for it May 14th at the Howard Theater. So make sure you all come out. It's going to be incredible. I have some surprises for you all. Was really going to be a celebration of my journey thus far. And there's the Blooming right there. And we listening?
We're talking.
Okay.
We're talking.
So it's the one after that was called Stardust. And I think we played a little bit of Get Beside Myself. My cousin, who was actually in my first band, he was also on that track there. But I was going to say in the intro of this song, The Blooming, it starts off in Lakota, tribal language. And it's a song that's about the American Indian Wars and the women that will hold their shawls waiting for their husbands to come back. And if they didn't come back, they would stay there until they became one with the wind. And it became a children's song, like out of tragedy, and it became a children's song. So I mixed that one with My Mother and Your Mother Was Hanging Up Clothes. My mama hit your mama dead in the nose. What color was the blood? Because so much of our story is steeped in tragedy, but we make it something we make it
art.
art.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I wanted to mix those two together, which is really kind of an artistic way of talking about my own blended experience. And then this is kind of like my my introduction in terms of, for that record. I'm the product of a gypsy and a kingpin. If you met my parents, you know what I mean.
Which one was the kingpin?
Papa was a Rolling Stone. Yeah, for sure.
So tell us about the DC Love Fest.
The DC Love Fest is happening on May 10th. And I am so excited to be hosting. Chrisette Michelle is performing. Mos Def is performing. Bilal is going to be held at the Constitution Hall. And, so I'm going to shake a leg, act foolish. And, spit a few lines for you all, sing a little bit of something, get the crowd excited. And it's going to be an amazing show. I was just on the Capitol Jazz Cruise with Chrisette Michelle.
Yes.
Yeah, she did a wonderful set there. We had a great time. So this should be a lot of fun. So hopefully y'all have your tickets already, because I'm sure.
Actually, what we're doing on the show is we're actually giving away tickets to,
okay,
to
good.
the DC Love Fest.
Good. Well, then we have some lucky listeners.
No, you know what? Exactly. We've been doing this for 8 weeks, and we've been doing this 8 weeks strong, and we have to support and love all our listeners because they've been giving us so much, and we're trying to. Yes, and it's time for us to give back as well. So, if you're still listening, one of you who are listening might get 2 tickets to see.
You might not.
You never know.
You never know. But nonetheless, the opportunity is there to see Maimouna and Yasmin Bey, a.k.a. Mos Def, and Chrisette Michelle. And beyond that, you'll even get to meet the manager.
This just in. Manager wants to give away a ticket to
really?
To the Howard Theater too.
So we're giving away more tickets tonight.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. For real. Because like I said, it's all about the promotion of the arts here, and we're all about promoting the people who come on our show and the people who support our show.
I would say one pair of tickets.
One pair. Well, you speak it to the mic. Speak it to the mic.
So what do we need to do to get those tickets?
Oh, whatever you guys want them to do. I just need the names of the people, but I don't know.
Sequin booty shorts.
G things.
I'm sorry, that's an inside joke. You should have been here at 9:30. But nonetheless, I think that's an awesome opportunity for anybody who is listening to come and see Maimouna at Howard Theater, and also the opportunity to see her at the DC Love Fest. Everybody we bring on here are doing big things. Maimouna definitely included. She's doing great things, and it's definitely an honor and a privilege to be
in your presence.
30 inches from her. 30 inches from her. Sincerely. So tell us about the Howard Theater event.
So it's gonna be this is a release party for my mixtape, and I wanted to do a mixtape because a lot of times in my traditional album music, you get to see my serious side, but you rarely get to see my silly side. A lot of my humor, and I had never done an all hip hop project before. And I wanted to do that with this project, and there were a lot of cover songs that I might have liked, the melody to or something like that, but I wanted to give a more social political spin to it that I felt like was more relevant to what's going on in today's culture.
Yes.
So that's what we do.
But define culture. I mean, we hold no holds barred on this show.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll speak on one song in particular, Royals, that we remade into We're Already Royals. When I first heard the song, I said, wow, this is a cool melody. I said, but I felt like it was a direct attack on hip hop for one.
True.
And about the kind of attacking hip hop for how much it's known to be very materialistic. But I thought it was really interesting that we never criticized the World Bank or the IMF for being materialistic. Like we never mentioned that. That's never an issue.
Wow.
You know,
okay, we're about to have the FBI on us, but that's okay.
No, but you understand what I mean.
No, I really do.
Yeah,
I really do.
and then I also
like,
felt
how
like-
dare she?
Yeah, especially when she's not coming from the culture that we're coming from.
Or even from America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even, I mean, what's interesting is that she said in an interview she had never seen, like, ghettos the way she saw them here in America. And I thought that was really interesting because I've been to New Zealand. They have serious slums. And so if you
Yes,
haven't seen them,
yes,
you're not really
yes.
connected with the people that you're singing about.
The indigenous, the Maori.
Yeah. So
yeah.
kind of this concept of being the underdog while attacking the underdog was kind of how I felt about it. And no offense to her because, she's a kid. So she's not really I can't imagine that she's knowledgeable enough to really speak on this issue because it's it's a heavy issue. It's layered with a lot of different
You called her
things.
a kid.
Well, she is.
It's like 50 Cent and Kanye. But you're being real. You're being real.
And so one of the first things I wanted to say was, so in the rap verse, I come straight with the ones you see stunting are the ones who never had nothing. So first piece of the pie, we trying to grab something, snatching and running, packing and gunning, landing 100, flashing in front and scared of everything, but call it nothing. We don't know that old true blue blood slave money, that slave money that war heroes take it to their grave money, cotton money, cane money, diamond blood stain money. They tell us to save money.
Come on
we know
now.
getting paid money. We only talking small money. 2 for
Yes.
$5 pack of Pampers, black and mild money, mattress pow high money. We know sneaker fly money. We know racks and racks and racks and racks and racks money. But what about that tax money, that oil money, Africa's rich soil money? So if you can't fold money.
yes.
So I just say, if we're gonna talk about materialism, let's go in. Let's talk about how
and honestly, as a host, I'm not supposed to be biased, but like,
You
like-
are
like,
biased.
I'm just saying, like, you hit me. You hit me.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time.
Okay.
I swear, every time we come on the show, I say we need an extra hour.
Right.
But with that being said, we only have 1 hour. And for those of you who have had the privilege to listen to us, this is Art Spoken, www.listenvisionlive.com on WLVS out in Washington, D.C. We are blasted worldwide, so I know our worldwide fans love us because we speak the truth when we come on the mic. And with that, I'd just like to thank our guests, Maimuna,
Thank you.
and the silent manager.
Can you say something? Can I go?
Please.
Don't forget to go to muumufresh.com.
Yes.
You can also
We needed to
follow
talk
her.
about that.
Instagram
We needed to
at
talk about that.
Fresh.
Yes. Blast your stuff real quick.
Instagram at Mumu Fresh, Twitter Team Mumu Fresh. That's MUMU Fresh. The website is mumufresh.com.
The album drops when?
May 13th, the mixtape drops. It's called The Reintroduction of Mumu Fresh.
And where will you find it?
You can find it on our mumufresh.com.
iTunes?
Bandcamp. It won't be on iTunes.
It won't be on. Yeah, fuck the establishment.
That's that
Clearly,
reggae
fuck the
feel.
establishment. iTunes is not ready for this. iTunes is not ready for this. But
You
with
can
that
also
being,
follow her on Twitter at Maimuna Youssef.
we're gonna definitely triumph your work as well, because that's what we do at Art Spoken. We bring artists to you, and we triumph them. Like without filter, without corporate interest, without sponsorship. Just some real heart to heart stuff. And with that, we have to close out. My name is Langham McGann.
And I'm better known as Unknown. with a question mark.
Unknown, but he claims Detroit.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
dang, Detroit every day. East side, man.
What up,
Never
though?
gonna die.
but I just
There
want
you go.
to.